Hey guys, tonight we're diving into the mysterious and frankly bizarre world of the Spanish Inquisition. Picture this: the warm glow of candlelight, the distant toll of a brass bell, and you, somehow finding yourself in the middle of 15th century Spain. You probably won't survive this, just saying. But don't worry, it's all part of the adventure. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You wake up to the ambiguous murmur of a bustling marketplace. It's surprisingly warm for the morning, and the air is thick with a mingling scent of fresh bread and wooden carts. Hints of a time long before Target runs and online shopping sprees. The market square is buzzing with energy, and folks jostle about, making deals with the fervor of Black Friday shoppers. Suddenly, the cacophony is interspersed with muffled pronouncements, calling the people to gather for an announcement by the local authority. Clearly, you've landed yourself smack in the heart of the Spanish Inquisition, a time when religious fervor and governmental oversight mingled as tightly as that twisty soft pretzel you might ironically wish for right now. You probably wouldn't last a day, and not just because they lack your favorite coffee shop this side of the medieval century. The day begins in a flurry, and you're swept up among the townsfolk, each face a tableau of suspicion and curiosity. The Inquisition wasn't exactly the most friendly neighborhood watch, if you catch my drift. Historians still argue whether its origins were purely religious or a convoluted mixture of politics and power-hungry glances exchanged over medieval wooden tables, kind of like when you're deciding on what series to binge next with your friends, and a heated debate ensues. Anyway, you blend in as best you can, pretending the wooden sandals on your feet don't pinch like that pair of boots you swore you'd break in, but never did. Here you are, in these rudimentary shoes, playing amateur sleuth. The not-so-friendly town crier continues to drone on, announcing the latest decree from on high. Like it or not, you're about to experience history firsthand, with an emphasis on the hand part. For a moment, you catch sight of an elderly woman with a basket of grapes, her face kind, eyes watchful, reminding you of that meme about grandmas and their infinite wisdom. She waves you over with a knowing nod, offering a chance to escape the crowd. Every step feels like a tumble through a historic maze, and you can't help but wonder if you're really up for this unsanctioned tour into trouble. So here's a thought to keep things lively. While the Inquisition delved into earnest investigations for religious conformity, it's been noted that they also involved dealing with parishes to gather taxes. Can you imagine? Multitasking before it was cool. Trying to spiritually enlighten people while ensuring the crown gets its cut, like a medieval combo meal with a side of purpose. The day unfolds, and while you stumble through cobbled lanes with names that feel like falling asleep mid-sentence, you happen upon a blacksmith shop. A clang echoes out, rhythmic and soothing, almost beckoning you to pause. If only it didn't smell sharply of burnt metal and enough sweat to fill a medieval moat. You catch snippets of locals discussing how the Inquisition's reach extended further with each passing sun. There's a rumor floating around. Inquisitors often had day jobs. Some were tailors, others cobblers, moonlighting with ecclesiastical fervor. Can you imagine sowing by day, delivering religious edicts by night? Talk about a double life straight out of a Netflix series waiting to happen. As you meander along, you've got to chuckle at the medieval version of sending passive-aggressive text messages, cryptic letters on rough parchment exchanged under the table. Who needs instant messaging when you have innuendo and conspiracies in a time when sitting was more than just staring at a computer screen? In this world, whispers of laws slip through alleyways faster than you can say, "Hey Siri, where am I?" Every stone echoes with past secrets, and every corner promises yet another misadventure waiting to be stumbled upon. Not unlike falling asleep with a bag of chips, only to wake up cradling crumbs like some unintended snacky spooning. Sure, you're about as prepared for this historical escapade as someone who skips straight to the end of a puzzle, but no matter. Here you are, catching a small glimpse into a widely misunderstood time, where the seriousness of life was peppered with more than a dash of peculiar humor. And as you continue this night under the soft veil of dimming stars, you can't help but smile at the absurdity and wonder it all represents. With the sun climbing higher, you navigate the maze of bustling streets, each turn revealing more layers of this enigmatic city. The cobblestones beneath your feet feel like something out of a 3D medieval video game, complete with random chickens crossing your path like it's an average Tuesday. Every step is accompanied by the ambient sounds of merchants haggling, blacksmiths hammering away, and the occasional random musician strumming a lute. Probably the medieval equivalent of that guy playing guitar in the subway station. Your journey is abruptly interrupted by chaotic hustle and bustle. People swarm around a central square where a makeshift stage has been set up. It's a common spectacle, attended by both the curious and those who secretly hope not to be the next feature in this grim theater. Welcome to the Trials by Candlelight, where the flicker of flames adds an extra layer of drama. For a moment, you stand at the periphery, nursing a sense of disbelief mingled with curiosity, much like the feeling when accidentally clicking an ad promising one weird trick to earn dollars, and resisting every urge to find out what the trick is. You edge closer, trying your best to be inconspicuous among the throng of cloaked figures. The Inquisitor presiding over the scene has the kind of charisma that grabs attention and doesn't let go. Imagine a medieval judge and reality TV host all wrapped into one ominous package. The irony of the situation isn't lost on you. Here you are, witnessing an age-old show where the stakes have never been higher, and yet somehow the absurdity of it all breaks through, like trying to maintain a solemn face while watching a cat video compilation. History records that there were indeed trials held with torches and candles casting a spooky glow over proceedings. Honestly, it's like they were going for an extreme makeover edition of courtroom drama. Plus, bring your own snack wasn't really an option here. Pity, because those medieval ale and bread pairings kind of sound like a night in watching Netflix's oldest rival, The Town Gossip. As the trial unfolds, you can't help but wonder at the missing bits of the history puzzle. Historians still argue whether these public displays were theaters of control or genuine attempts at rooting out dissent. It's like arguing if pineapple belongs on pizza, a debate that stirs passions and divides dinner tables to this day. Your meandering thoughts are derailed by a commotion. Someone spills a mug of what you suspect is wine or another dubious drink. Back then, food and drink were practically their own robust flavor adventure. often tasting like a game of guess the ingredient roulette. And while wine added to soup tales are legendary, let's face it, that flatbread they called the best thing since sliced bread was hard enough to dent your belief in culinary advancement. Another peculiar thing about this scene is its undeniable resemblance to a modern potluck gone wrong. Several townsfolk constitute the jury, each with their own peculiar reputation, ranging from that one farmer who lets his cows free roam to the baker whose bread is only slightly better than a brick. And then there's you, unwitting guest at this monochrome jamboree, pondering how to socially distance yourself in a time before such terms existed. In navigating these social intricacies, manage your laughter, which, truth be told, isn't easy. When you're listening to accusations that resemble how a whisper down the lane game could transform spice trade gone wrong into witchcraft at dawn, you know you've embarked on one roller coaster of a historic ride. The unscheduled spectacle concludes under the fading afternoon sun, where justice is rendered with alarming efficiency. Not unlike the 3-minute TikTok recipe videos promising soufflés ready in seconds. Spoiler: ingredients still require time and effort. As the crowd begins dispersing, you find yourself led astray by the enticing aroma of freshly cooked goods, which, incidentally, happen to be a staple of any community gathering. Much like the obligatory taco truck parked outside every music festival, where you graze like reluctant moths nibbling on moonlight. And as the sun casts its last golden hues over a cobblestone path, you wander off, clinging to the remnants of a day that dances between farcical and fascinating, a step deeper into the heart of the Spanish Inquisition's quixotic tales. Whispers of peculiar legends shared over a hearty cup distilled for the ages rest at the brink of your own understanding as you tread down this winding historical journey. The afternoon blends seamlessly into evening, leaving behind a gentle hue reminiscent of those early smartphone wallpapers, soft, comforting, and slightly outdated. You find yourself strolling through narrow alleyways, each one winding and mysterious, as if urging you to slow down and listen, almost like that podcast episode you've replayed because you always fall asleep halfway through. The clamor of the market fades, replaced by the more subdued hustle of people heading home, their shadows painting whispered stories across stone walls. It's almost comforting how the town hums with the familiar rhythm of winding down after a busy day, much like the end credits rolling when you've given up watching yet another episode of a never-ending series. Along the cobbled path, you catch snippets of conversations drifting from open windows. Phrases about grain prices and church announcements mix with laughter, thankful for an ordinary day. No inquisitors knocking at dawn's break. They often straddle the obscure line between clerics and detectives, cloaked in the familiarity of town gossip that could put many a Facebook feed to shame. Pausing at a street corner, your attention snags on a flyer pinned to a wooden post. It flutters in the evening breeze, scribbled with words about an upcoming community feast, an invitation to experience the community's brand of culinary diplomacy. Undeniably, it emits an aura not dissimilar to reciprocal BBQ invites draped around modern neighborhood fences. You decide to follow the scent of roasted something. Food might be the ultimate unifier, transcending time, bridging gaps, and sometimes failing horrifically when experimenting with that mystery dish you saw somewhere online. Joining the huddle of townsfolk, you blend into the gathering feast under starlit skies. There's a playful air of camaraderie and you chuckle at the carnivalesque atmosphere where old-timey, handwritten recipes and oral traditions blend like a medieval version of Pinterest boards brought to life. Someone playfully gestures as you approach and offers you a slice of something that resembles pie, but with an unfamiliar taste. It transports you to a vague, sleepily reminiscent memory of raiding the fridge at midnight, eyes half open, daring to try that one odd thing from last week's culinary experiment. Conversations at the feast drift to the perennial quirks of this life, the latest being that neighborhood cat everyone's convinced is a reincarnated bureaucrat from the bygone era. You can't help but relate, especially if you've ever caught your own pet staring at you with way too much judgment for an animal that defies basic rules of personal space. As the moon climbs higher, tales shift from mundane to mystical. Somebody recounts tales of inquisitors with side jobs, trading robes for more shopkeeping attire, because who said multitasking was a modern invention? Between these fluffy asides, you gather nuggets of history, spun into the fabric of everyday life with the lightness of that impossible email from the prince of a far-off land waiting in your spam folder. The night becomes a haven of unexpected delights and startling oddities. A whispered rumor catches your ear. Some claim the Inquisitors were prone to entering innocent folks' houses and suggesting peculiar advice, like ritualistic haircuts to scare away evil spirits. It certainly raises eyebrows, though historians still argue over such bizarre anecdotes. Seriously, are we in a religious inquiry or auditioning for the medieval season of extreme makeover? As you sit among the townsfolk, the witching hour passes with stories crackling in the chill night air, warming hearts even as candles flicker in their glassy jars, filled with scented wax long before Yankee Candle made them a staple. It's lighthearted, strangely comforting, and as heady as the first sip of a steaming autumn brew on a frost-bitten morning. Beneath the watchful gaze of 1,000 glittering stars, you lean back, letting the rhythmic chorus of crickets chirp alongside whispered secrets spontaneously unravel themselves as laughter fills the air, like whispered lullabies carried by the wind. Despite the danger looming in the court's inquisitorial chambers, there's an undeniable kinship found here, nestled snug among the stone roots of this time-worn city. And soon, wrapped in the day's fading whispers, you wind down, allowing the gentle cadence of this medieval melody to lull you softly toward dreams stitched with the threads of both timeliness and timelessness, assuring that whenever the echo of history rings, you've moments like these to cherish amidst its reverberating walls. As dawn stretches its soft light over the landscape, you arise to a world still hushed with the remnants of slumber, much like the echoes of snooze alarms you've mastered, hitting just right in your own timeline. The Spanish streets are a blend of cold stone and morning haze, with inhabitants awakening to their routines, shuffling as though caught between dreams and reality. Your journey takes you past cobblestone streets, where shopkeepers are barely setting out their wares, and the scent of freshly baked bread nudges you through the crisp air. You move tentatively, as if participating in a dance you're barely learning, not unlike navigating the world pre-coffee, with sleep's fog still nestling in the corners of your mind. Finding yourself drawn toward the church, you step into the shadow of its great wooden doors, the kind that creak in a way that would make even the most enthusiastic ASMR enthusiast's spine tingle just a bit. Inside, the coolness of the stone floor seeps through your shoes, grounding you in this place of quiet contemplation and whispered secrets. It's in these sacred walls that you learn more about the extent of the Inquisition's reach. Everyone knows Torquemada, the name like that one character whose dramatic flair gets way too much spotlight in any ensemble cast. His influence looms large over the city, echoed in the somber tones of clerics who seem to glide more than walk, whisper more than speak. Honestly, they might just have invented the original stealth mode. History tells us that Torquemada was a fervent advocate for religious conformity and played a key role in establishing the Inquisition's feared reputation. But the tricky part? Historians often debate whether his intentions were driven by genuine faith or a hungry gaze at consolidating power. Was he a pious leader or the architect of an insidious regime? It's like historical clickbait. What's the real story behind the facade? While pondering these heavy questions, you find yourself stumbling upon a side chapel where perhaps a clandestine meeting could have taken place. The forgotten space is silent as a midnight snowfall, with dusty pews and gentle drafts whispering their secrets. Among the old, crumbling pages of a prayer book, possibly dropped by a parishioner on their way to breakfast, are marginalia scattered like forgotten texts of monumental significance on a phone screen. Amidst your contemplation, you dwell on how the air seems electrified, vibrating with the footsteps of those who traverse these holy corridors in search of answers, or perhaps trying to avoid questions that could spell doom. The whole scenario is not unlike a modern-day episode of avoiding eye contact during awkward group meeting discussions at work. With the church behind, you exit into a city lit by high, bright daylight that seems to etch memories into every shadow. Your wandering heart leads you to ponder the roles animals like cats played during this era, mysterious creatures of the Inquisition. It's often said they were used as spies, seemingly prowling alleyways with a knowing air, as though privy to the whispers of halls and quarters. You chuckle at the thought, for cats have always had a sense about them, as if they learned the secrets of world domination long before humans ever settled to even attempt TikTok routines. Today, your path leads you through an alley whose winding trail feels about as mysterious as browsing the deep web. But don't worry. Instead of questionable sources or conspiracy theories, this route leads you to a lively tavern perched on the edge of known civilization. Or at least that's what it feels like. Upon entering, you're enveloped in warmth and merriment, in stark contrast to the heavy air back at the church. Here, the tavern is a hallowed realm of lively seeing, speaking, and hearing, with a room filled with aromas that set your empty stomach singing. You find a seat beside a grizzled dungeon guard nursing his ale like it's the last one on earth. His stories, interwoven with years of service and more than a few nods to the townsfolk who hold sway, captivate, and entertain. As he regales you with tales of his years amidst shadow and stone, and between belches that could challenge the loudest dragons, you learn that even in this labyrinth of medieval intrigue, humor finds its place. After all, who knew that the feared dungeons of the Inquisition might have walls that listened as much as they imprisoned, maybe even indulging in the gossip of old ghosts? You can't help but chuckle with him, resonating in shared laughter that threads the heart of humanity, a nod to the fact that even amongst the gravest of times, the need for humor remains vital, like the perennial social media debate musketeer, or GIF alternating between your Instagram feed. As the day slowly slips into night, a comforting weariness settles over you. The Spanish Inquisition, now no longer an abstract historical reference, but rather a vivid chapter in this never-ending tome of human experience, gently ushers you toward rest, with a heart filled by stories of people across divides of time and belief. You step forward, knowing that each moment of connection, no matter how small, binds us all as one, even those of us who feel like we've just stepped out of a history book's narrative. As twilight descends and wraps the town in its delicate embrace, you find a familiar yet peculiar comfort walking under the lantern-lit streets. The rhythmic clack of your shoes against cobblestones echoes a sort of lullaby as you wander further from tales of inquisitions and their enigmatic politics, allowing thoughts to swell and subside much like gentle ocean waves against distant shores. Passing through rows of shops with their shutters pulled down, you catch faint laughter from upper windows where families gather, sharing meals as unseen apparitions of yesteryear hover like silent guardians. It paints a cozy scene akin to wrapping up a day at your remote workstation, basking in warm lighting, curled snug into the inviting folds of a well-worn blanket, much like you're doing right now, perhaps. The path eventually leads you toward the outskirts where city noise fades, merging into the whispering symphony of crickets and night creatures. There's a subtle magic in this transition, as if stepping into a veil hiding an altogether different reality, one where the stars whisper sagas past and the moon nods in familiar conspiracy, ready to trade secrets. Curious, you drift closer to what can only be described as a cheese kiosk of curious proportions, promising wares both suspicious yet intriguing, ostensibly curbing curiosity before sleep claims you fully. The vendor, whose collection ranges from the mundane to the utterly odd, catches your eye and gestures with the flair of a magician about to conjure rabbits from hats. You wonder if the cheese is charmed or merely suspect, a culinary facet lost in time like magic spells locked in ancient tomes. As you ponder this, a speculative grin stretches across your face. Could cheese truly invoke the wrath of inquisitors? Though strange, there's documented evidence of certain foods being scorned, linked with the occult or labeled impure. Historians mull over accounts of unusual foods being prohibited. Whether the tales are exaggerated is debated. Time has a funny way of seasoning truth with flavor. Eyes twinkling with laughter, you think back to whenever you've neglected items left in your fridge just long enough to consider them outcasts, worthy of only the darkest corners in your kitchen's domain. Indeed, even obscurely forbidden cheese might find a kinship here, a humorous note in the ledger of existential absurdity. Returning to the reality of crickets and moonlight, you find your thoughts gliding over the nature of communal differences and shared universals. How every era struggles, challenges, cherishes, yet remains distinct in the flavor of memory it leaves behind. Much like skimming through 27 open tabs in your browser, each with a story demanding to be told, often simultaneously, though you know, inevitably, only a few will truly resonate. Finding a grassy patch, you rest, contemplating the bonfires that once danced in public squares under inquisitorial command. From tales handed down, scholars argue whether these displays were societal cleansing or simple spectacles wielded as tools of power. In the glow of fire-lit gatherings, stories bared their souls, embers of humanity caught within the scorching flames until ashes concealed tales that only whispers dared recount. Yet here you are, blessed with hindsight, piecing together nuanced tapestries, understanding that the truth lies somewhere amidst divided perceptions and distant dreams imbued by hearts long since silenced. As night deepens, casting its serene shadow, you spend the lingering moments savoring this sliver of history, where laughter, love, and age-old customs merge into harmonious celebration. The premise, never monotonous, rather, a fascinating sonata played in perpetuity. The stars begin their subtle descent, signaling your cue to wander back through moonlit alleys, realizing your waking feet are drawn to the comforting embrace of future tales and echoes. Returning to the town square, its heart beats slowly beneath waxing moonlight, stone structures standing like silent sentinels until dawn's caress dispels their vigil. You find the world welcoming your quiet return, reminding you that home is not merely where you've succumbed to sleep's siren call, but where stories are born beyond time's embrace. Nestling into tender lullabies written by celestial hands, you drift into dreams, tenderly preserving history's essence, myths, companions, and the timeless allure of what follows. Unwrap tomorrow's whispered cadences, like cherished songs to guide your voyage. Rest now, dear traveler of time, nestled within dreams cozy and warm, where gentle echoes promise their stories anew when the world next turns. As dawn seeps through the fabric of the night, casting golden filaments over the sleepy town, you wake to the sound of distant bells tolling from the church. These ancient echoes blend into a comforting chorus, their rhythm steady and lulling. It's as if the town itself is stretching and yawning, shaking off dreams of days long gone before unraveling the tapestry of a new day. You rise, feeling the subtle chill of the morning air, a contrast against the warmth of cobblestones that radiated the day's heat just hours before. There's a sensation of stepping into a world untouched by time, where every sound is magnified in the silence of pre-dawn. It's a feeling akin to scrolling through your phone in the wee hours, savored only by the true night owls among us. The market is slowly coming to life, with vendors arranging their goods, weaving through earthy scents and colors as rich as a Renaissance painting. A familiar figure catches your eye. It's the elderly woman from the day before, still armed with that same basket of grapes and an unspoken wisdom that transcends words. Her face is etched with the marks of time, stories that linger in the crinkles around her eyes. You nod a greeting, her presence a comforting constant amidst unknowns, much like that friend who knows precisely when you need a good meme to brighten your day. She returns your nod with a knowing smile, the kind that transcends the barriers of language, a shared understanding woven into the fabric of humanity. Amidst setting up stalls and rising noise, you walk with a purpose, however meandering it may be. Each path reveals layers that history has imprinted upon these cobbled stones. As you peruse the market, you overhear hushed talk of an upcoming event, one that involves horses parading through narrow streets, celebrated by everyone in exuberant costumes. You wonder if the horses share the same enthusiasm for donning elaborate gear as some people do for choosing the perfect filter for Instagram posts. You're drawn to these lively streets, imagining what this spectacle will unveil. Historians still argue over the significance of such parades and their roots, whether they were originally grand celebrations of triumph, or rather strategic displays of communal spirit aimed at unifying the townsfolk under a singular cause. Intrigued by possibilities, you continue down the street towards the sound of hooves clattering on stone, your senses awash with vibrant anticipation. The scene unfurls in panoramic theatrics, prancing horses, their riders adorned with smiles as bright as daylight itself, while townspeople cheer with abandon. It is a celebration of the very essence of living, woven with hues of the present and whispers of the past. The historical significance, whatever it may be, slips quietly into the folds of joyous laughter, a chorus that steadies the heart and lifts the spirit. You notice a child holding a hoop, tossing it into a joyous spin, absorbed with wonder, reflecting the untainted charm of discovery in this moment, the magic of fleeting joy, unexplained but profound, like finding an unexpected message in a bottle amidst the endless digital sea. The festivity wraps around you like an old, comfortable quilt, worn but beloved. People move about freely, their steps reflecting countless journeys taken yet untold, sharing this communal sense of belonging. Even as dawn recedes into the gentle embrace of morning light, the town remains aglow with the burnished hue of festive spirit, a blending of stories, laughter, and timeless memories. As you stand here, embraced by this living pageant of life, thoughts of yesterday's burdens and history's shadows dissolve gently in the light of shared smiles and the warmth of open arms. Perhaps these moments reflect that history, with all its trials and tribulations, converges exactly here, where souls meet once again to celebrate today's sunrise. The town, awakening yet quietly reflective, whispers, promises of yet more untold tales as you begin to walk away. Tender hues of amber and gold crown this moment, the past and present coalescing harmoniously. You find in these tender revelations a satisfaction, not of story's end, but of continuance, an understanding that the world will keep turning, and with each new dawn, tales will continue to weave amidst the tapestry of human experience. As you move along, the market smells linger, fragrant reminders of adventure, as harmonious in their blend as the familiar feel of slipping on mismatched socks that somehow fit just right. The gentle rhythm of life hums on, ever inviting, a siren of discovery sung to a traveler of time who knows not where this path may lead, but holds vigilant for the stories waiting beyond the horizon. And with a soft drift into your stride, a knowing smile, you carry these whispers forward as the Spanish sun basks upon this living tableau, your heart light aglow with the promise of tales yet to be told. As the day unfolds with warmth, gently kissing your skin, you find yourself weaving through the lively market once more. The aroma of freshly baked bread mingles with the crisp scent of herbs, creating a sensory potpourri that invites you deeper into this historical reverie. It's like that comforting whiff of coffee that somehow makes Monday mornings a tad more bearable. You stop momentarily, captivated by the skill of a juggler on the corner, his hands flashing in a hypnotic dance with colorful balls, drawing small crowds and occasional gasps. It's a reminder that entertainment in this era comes with the same delight as watching a pet's antics unfold in your living room, or those endless animal reels that capture your heart at the most unexpected times. Nearby, two children playfully chase each other, their giggles echoing like wind chimes in the still morning air. Their laughter rings with the purity of innocence, a symphony of joy that bridges the centuries, reminding us of the universal threads woven into the fabric of human life. The sight brings a smile to your face, a quiet contentment settling in your chest, akin to the familiar feel of curling up with a nostalgic novel under a blanket fort on a rainy day. Walking deeper into the market, you stumble across a curious stall, hidden behind some bustling displays. It's an old apothecary shop, filled with shelves of glass jars containing mysterious herbs and vibrant powders, each labeled with handwriting that seems almost as old as time itself. The apothecary, a kindly old man with a twinkle in his eye that suggests he's seen everything, and quite possibly tried half of it, welcomes you with a nod. In his soft voice, he narrates how these concoctions are said to heal, or at least provide a semblance of comfort during the times of the Inquisition. It's funny how some things never change. This search for remedies, whether herbal or digital, holds its allure throughout ages. Modern parallels abound, like the ever-exploring realm of wellness apps, promising miracles, or simply that elusive shut-eye after a midnight TikTok dive. As you listen, you learn of the medieval belief in the power of humors and their significance in balancing the body. Historians still debate the extent to which these practices influenced health during the Inquisition, considering them either innovative for their time or an ancient version of wellness trends promising quick fixes. Among the stories shared by the apothecary, a quirky tidbit stands out. It seems his grandfather had believed fervently in the restorative power of laughter, prescribing jokes as medicine. He explains with a chuckle, more contagious than any ailment, that humor could lighten even the heaviest of burdens, an idea that resonates deeply, a default antidote to life's perplexing complexities, much like the surprise of finding a perfectly timed meme that seems to just get it. You thank him for his stories and move on through the market, where the world seems both intimate and expansive under the open sky. Whispers of the past ripple through your senses, tangible evidence of lives lived, loves found, and dreams pursued even under concerning times. Each face you pass and each story heard adds a piece to the evolving puzzle whose pattern stretches far beyond mere seconds into the boundless realm of history. As afternoon approaches, you amble toward a quieter part of town, where urban noise begins to fade into the tranquility of rustling leaves. You find a serene garden set against a charming old house. Its flora, a riot of colors, each blossom swaying gently, as if participating in a well-rehearsed symphony of natural exuberance. The scene invites you to sit and reflect, just as evening light casts a warm spotlight, welcoming contemplation. Then, unexpectedly, it's the bells, those ubiquitous symbols of unity and rhythm, ringing out once again. They their echoes weaving tales through the air as steady as a heartbeat, punctuating the passage of time with their gentle refrain. You listen, captivated by the ancient wisdom they seem to carry, like forgotten verses caught between melody and silence, anchoring you in this very moment. Here, in this gentle embrace of earth and sky, you realize that history, much like these garden blossoms, is ever renewing. Artisans of the human spirit continually weave and reweave its fabric, crafting narratives both dazzling and dusty, inviting wanderers like yourself to pause among its intricacies and breathe. This day, etched forever in your heart's memory, becomes a single note in the song of time, a lullaby that lingers softly, inviting stories to continue echoing through the present moment. It's a reminder of life's intrinsic beauty, woven through history's intricate dance, leading you gently toward the promise of another tomorrow. And as the evening draws close, like a page turning in a beloved book, you stand amidst the garden, content to carry these fragments of history with you, knowing they'll linger in whispers, waiting to greet the next seeker destined to wander among unfolding tales. The garden offers a peaceful sanctuary, its foliage brimming with life that rustles softly in the evening breeze. It's a perfect moment of respite from the cacophony of town life, like those rare, blissful chunks of quiet you find when you turn off notifications for just a moment. You take the time to truly appreciate the delicate floral perfume that surrounds you, as vivid and calming as the warm, inviting glow of fairy lights strung above a cozy gathering. With twilight unfolding its velvet cloak, time seems to slow down, urging you to savor each passing second in this otherworldly pause. The garden's tranquility harks back to a time long ago, a focus on nature's simplicities rather than the relentless rhythm imposed by the ticking of modern clocks. As you sit on a worn wooden bench, your mind, still mulling over the day's events, starts to drift. There's a comforting hum of crickets, their cadence akin to nature's own lullaby, beneath the gentle sigh of leaves that echo with a timeless melody. You find solace here, as if the garden itself invites you to share in its history, a tapestry woven in sunlight and shade. Thoughts drift to lingering questions from earlier, debates unspooling like threads from the fabric of time. Historians continue to argue over whether the Inquisition's grip was more about controlling belief or consolidating power. Much like modern debates over social media's influence, are we more disconnected or just connecting differently? Your musings are peppered with memories of inquisitors and their peculiar roles during these turbulent times, wielding authority like whispers caught in candlelit chambers, as complex as any convoluted plot in a season finale you didn't see coming. Meanwhile, the garden continues its gentle watch over you, its secrets unfolding in twilight's embrace. As you absorb this serendipitous symphony, you remember peculiar tales that have clung to the corners of your mind, like the role of cats in Inquisition-era Spain. Superstitions endowed these feline creatures with mythic status, yet there they prowled, keepers of secrets and silent observers, perhaps pondering their own age-old mysteries, or simply the best sunbeam to nap upon. Finally, in the growing dance of shadows and stars, you cannot help but smile at the whimsical thought of these cats, their enigmatic eyes perhaps sparking fear where curiosity should have tread. Cats, who've never quite outgrown their reputation for knowing more than they let on, remain timeless companions in our historical journey. You picture them now, slipping silently through shadows to settle beside you, purring, with an air that is regal and comforting, all-knowing and accepting of the world as it is. As darkness falls around you, the garden's heart beats softly to the rhythm of stories shared through generations, some known, others forgotten. The gentle sway of trees whispers the closing notes of another season, much like the end of a beloved book that promises both return and renewal upon waking. You embrace this timeless moment like the secure comfort of your favorite hoodie, warm, familiar, and steadfast amidst the fleeting world around you. The serenity whispering through the garden forgives past transgressions and clothes you gently in acceptance, a simple reminder that life's greatest stories are those we continue to learn from, like pure, bubbling laughter shared with a friend beneath stars. The evening stretches into night, and with it, the garden bids you linger a little longer in this place where history, tales, and dreams meld into one. You rise, knowing that this present moment, echoes of old, filled with the promise of renewal, stands as timeless as any treasured memory. As you leave, your footsteps trail softly upon the earth, assured by the garden's farewell sigh, wrapping you in the wisdom of its quietude. With moonlight as your guiding star, you carry forward the lessons of the Spanish Inquisition, tucked safely into your heart, a treasured narrative that will forever light your path through the corridors of time. Rest easy now, traveler of dreams and time, for history will patiently await your return in tender embrace of the stories yet to be told. As you step out from the garden's gentle embrace, the night unfolds like a warm quilt spread beneath the velvet sky. The path before you is illuminated by the soft glow of moonlight, casting silver shadows that dance playfully across the cobblestones. It's almost whimsical, like a forgotten fairy tale, a night that promises to shelter your thoughts until morning breaks again. The quiet town holds a serene atmosphere, its every creak and murmur a familiar lullaby playing in tandem with your own footsteps. Each sound, whether a distant door closing, the rustle of leaves, or the soft calls of night birds, melds into an orchestra of harmonious nostalgia. There's something beautifully timeless about walking under the stars, without the incessant hum of modern life or the persistent glow of screens. As you wander through the winding streets, you find your mind gently combing through the stories and moments that have unfolded throughout the day. The Inquisition's shadow loomed large in whispers and tales, yet now, within the safety of night, those conversations fade softly into the background of starlit reflections. The humor and peculiarities of your journey echo softly, like cherished memories of shared laughter among friends during late-night talks, where time flows freely and no topic is too silly or too deep. You chuckle quietly, reminded of those inquisitors with side gigs and superstitious cheese, those little quirks of history that reinforce how human and strange life has always been. The air cools gently around you, wrapping you like a tender embrace, and you consider how these echoes of history resonate with the rhythms of today. There's an interplay of then and now, a dance that speaks of perpetual discovery. You think of the scholars still caught in endless debates, and it dawns on you that perhaps history doesn't need all the answers. It simply invites us to ponder, to learn, and to wonder. As you walk, your thoughts drift to the mundane yet magical ways in which people, across miles and centuries, continue seeking connection and meaning. The Inquisition, in its mix of fear and fervor, reminds us of the power in communities where laughter acts as a salve, and stories are exchanged like currency among townsfolk at market stalls. This shared humanity, though wrapped in layers of complexity, remains a quiet comfort, a stitching of time's vast tapestry. You pause, taking a moment to let your gaze travel upward, catching a glimpse of the stars, settled like ancient sentinels in the darkness above. These celestial bodies, steadfast in their watch over the world, seem to whisper promises through the ether, ones you've felt thrumming gently in your very core. The world spins on, history writes itself, and amidst all this, you'll find moments like these, a gentle pause to reflect. Moving once again, the path ultimately brings you back to a familiar square where lanterns wistfully flicker, tiny pulses of light surrounded by opulent blackness. It's reassuring how such simple glows carry the heart of the night, offering guidance much like the encouraging words of a friend who knows when you've accidentally muted the group chat, but shares their warmth nonetheless. As the evening gently draws to an end, you stand quietly within the square, gathering the tranquility of night like a cloak around you. These moments are invaluable, the space between moments, where history, emotion, and serenity cradle you with a lullaby meant to guide you softly towards dreams, cradled by the Sabbath of slumbering leaves. And so, you let out a sigh, one that reverberates with the gratitude of knowing that while you venture through footsteps of time, lingering echoes of laughter, love, and life hold you in their tender balance. The Spanish Inquisition, once a historical entity residing in whispers and candlelit tales, now sits within your heart, a memory wrapped in understanding, imbued with humanity. The stars smile knowingly as you drift homeward, poised in their celestial canvas, forever intertwined with time's enduring embrace, an invitation to rest, to dream, and to awaken anew with the promise of a world filled with stories yet to unfold. Rest easy now, gentle dreamer, knowing the universe cradles your path with infinite patience and tender watch. Within its ceaseless unfolding, may you find the whispers of history always ready to greet you softly, as a new dawn arises and another tale begins. Finding yourself back in your cozy nook of familiarity, you settle into the gentle comforts, waiting like a cherished friend at the end of a long day. It's the delightful ritual of slipping into mismatched pajamas that somehow feel just right, tangling into the soft embrace of solitary quiet as you nestle into the cushions. The room hums softly, your phone's gentle glow dimmed to save those precious few percent of battery, fairy lights casting a warm, gentle halo, and the soft whirring of a fan lulling the room into a serene cadence. It's like this space holds a knowing, understanding the weight of stories gathered and inviting you to bask in their glow. Much like an overstuffed daybook, brimming with whispered notes of experiences and dreams. As you stretch and let out a contented sigh, the day's journey unfurls once more in your mind, settling gently like fine mist over a tranquil lake. The Spanish Inquisition, a mosaic of people, places, and oddities, now weaves seamlessly into the tapestry of your understanding, a gentle echo in the chambers of memory. With delight, you recall the quirky side excursions, a grizzled dungeon guard with stories that rolled as freely as his ale, townsfolk navigating shifting laws like dance steps in an unending waltz, and the whimsical possibility of inquisitors leading double lives, day jobbing through history as easily as flipping through today's podcasts or juggling social media accounts for the perfect online persona. You chuckle softly, reminded of horses bewildered by too narrow alleys and secretive meetings over cheese, and modern parallels of our own sporadic indulgences and curious adventures. They remind you, ever so gently, of how life's frictions often slip into smiles and the soothing balm of camaraderie, a shared acknowledgement that life is simultaneously odd, intricate, and filled with humor. As you drift deeper, the scholarly debates come to mind, questions suspended between certainty and enigma, still swirling in conversation among historians. Whether the Inquisition was a sincere attempt at religious unification or a tactical maneuver wound tightly in subtext remains up for pondering. Indeed, much like searching for a resume among open tabs, the essence of truth rests in layers, waiting for inquisitive seekers to peel back its mysteries. The peace of the evening embraces you further, an exquisite tableau of serenity where ripples of stories, laughter, and shared humanity tuck you tenderly within their neat folds. You find solace here, a quiet bridge to dreams wrought through ages, whispering tunes that twine tenderly around tomorrow's promise. And as your thoughts soften like a well-loved melody, you embrace the knowledge that history's wisdom is forever etched into moments, waiting to unfold beyond the confines of time. Quietly humming its truths within us all, you are reminded of your own journey, one built upon converging paths tied with echoes of laughter and star-kissed whispers. The world's cyclical dance spins eternally, always inviting us to embrace the poets and dreamers, to share stories anew. So, as your eyes close and the dreams take flight, may you rest deeply in this soft certainty, a great confluence of stories and mystery, interwoven as you drift through slumber's quiet journey. Let the gentle sweep of starlight and the tender pull of night's edges crone their lullaby, for within their cocoon you nestle safely, guarded by truths of time with sweet dreams gently echoing. As you ease into the embrace of these tender twilight hours, the world outside gradually drifts away, leaving just you and the rhythmic hum of your snug surroundings, a beloved symphony in quietude. The gentle cadence of the night speaks softly, encouraging a deeper dive into the velvet seas of slumber, where dreams roam freely. Your mind softly wanders back to those meandering cobblestone paths of 15th century Spain, where the Spanish Inquisition unfolded its intriguing tapestry. The imagery weaves itself through your thoughts like a gentle breeze, carrying with it the warm echoes of laughter, vibrant street scenes, and the curious figures that populated this bygone world. It's as if you're holding a lantern to illuminate these shadowy corners of history, imbuing them with light and life just as you drift calmly toward the border of dreams. The echo of horses' hooves and the layered whispers of townsfolk fade like forgotten lyrics in the back of your mind, replaced by a soothing silence that wraps around you as a protective blanket would. The inquisitors, the mysterious cheese vendor, and even the mythic watchful cats find their rightful place in the storied mosaic of memory. A gentle reminder that history harbors not just grandeur and shadow, but a myriad of simple, beautiful moments that connect us across time. You see through this lens how the past and present entwine, life echoing its enduring refrain of seeking connection, understanding, and simple joys amidst life's grand tapestry. With each deepening breath, you sense the gentle rhythm of history's ebb and flow, cradling you softly as you relax into night's embrace. The sensation is akin to discovering a forgotten letter tucked into the pages of a favorite book, a touchstone of warmth and familiarity amidst the infinite weave of life's narratives. Amidst this dreamy reverie, you feel a connection stretching far beyond the now, a soothing tether binding you gently to those who wandered before and those destined to follow. In learning from the past, cherishing the present, and dreaming of what could be, you've collected pieces of the world's enduring story, written upon your heart. And as the night deepens, welcomes you to the embrace of the peaceful hush, you find solace in these stories nestled beneath the softest stars. Let your mind wander freely, your dreams unfurl with promise, and your heart rest quietly in the knowledge that come the dawn, new tales await to write themselves into the annals of your journey. As sleep warmly gathers you in its arms, feel the universe's gentle rhythm breathing life into your dreams, igniting the potential of tomorrow. Inhale tranquility, exhale the day's whispers, and drift peacefully into dreams painted in starlight, carried softly through history toward the horizon of a new dawn. Rest now, dear traveler of stories. May your night be filled with calm, your dreams sweetly spun with the threads of time, and may you awaken with the promise of the world's gentle harmonies echoing softly in your heart. As night fully envelops you in its gentle embrace, the tranquil rhythms of sleep draw you further into a realm of serene dreams and gentle reflections. Here, nestled within the velvet expanse of the night, The echoes of history lull you deeper into peaceful repose, their whisper soothing, like a far-off lullaby carried on the wind. The images of your historical journey continue to float softly through your mind. The bustling marketplace, the Inquisitor's solemn gaze, the friendly townsfolk, each of them leaving their mark on the tapestry of your dreams. It's as though you're drifting through a gallery of vivid memories, each one infused with the warmth of human connection and the enduring charm of shared stories. In this space of slumber, time bends and stretches, weaving together the past and present into a seamless narrative that cradles you with its gentle wonder. The saga of the Spanish Inquisition, with all its complexities and curiosities, becomes a backdrop for your own reflections, a reminder of the timeless quest for understanding and connection that binds us all. As you nestle deeper into the comforting arms of sleep, the tender cadence of the night wraps around you, like the softest fabric, soothing your every restlessness. Each breath you take draws you into the embrace of midnight's quietude, where even the quiet hum of your thoughts begins to dissolve into the gentle melody of dreams and sighing stars. The vivid tapestry of your thoughts gradually loosens, the day's vibrant hues fading gracefully into the muted palette of night. Your senses are enveloped in a balm of tranquility, your mind a serene sea where the stories of the ages ripple softly along the surface, mingling with your own hopes and visions. As twilight deepens into velvety dark, let yourself sink into this wellspring of calm, where history's whispers and dreams' gentle symphony sway you tenderly toward a well-deserved rest. In this sacred space, may you find peace and renewal, nurtured by the day's reflections and the soft promise of dreams. So let go, dear dreamer, into this night's gentle embrace, knowing that your heart is serene and your spirit cradled. Rest assured that when dawn's first light pierces the horizon, it will bring with it the gentle promise of a new day. A blank canvas awaiting your brushstrokes, colored by the wisdom and wonder of the stories that guide you. Sleep soundly now and awaken to the promise of tomorrow, forged by the stardust of your dreams and the timeless echoes of history's gentle harmony. As you lie quietly, the tender embrace of sleep draws you further into its velvet depths, where time loses its grip and dreams take on a life of their own. The echoes of history, which have accompanied you through this journey, now shimmer around you like the soft glow of twilight, mingling effortlessly with the stories that weave through the tapestry of your dreams. You find yourself in a familiar landscape where the boundaries between past and present dissolve into whispers of starlight. Here, in this sanctuary of reverie, the tales of the Spanish Inquisition gently blend with the silent drama of the cosmos above, a cosmic canvas unfolding beyond the reach of mundane anxieties and earthly concerns. In this dreamscape, each moment unfolds with a serene logic that transcends explanation, a tapestry of insights and reflections, subtle as the rustle of leaves stirred by a midnight breeze. The Inquisitor's solemn visages, the bustling market, and the laughter of the townsfolk become echoes within a larger symphony, a timeless melody resonating through the fabric of your subconscious. You wander through this realm of possibility, where history's stories intersect with dreams' boundless potential. It's a space where questions posed to scholars linger unresolved, yet beautifully embraced, similar to how one delights in a poem whose meanings unfurl like dawn's first light on a dewdrop-laden web. Each step you take in this ephemeral world reflects the shared human pursuit of understanding, connection, and hope. Universal themes as resonant today as they were in centuries past. Here, within this expansive realm, you find solidarity across the ages, a reminder of the enduring quest that unites us all despite the distances marked by time. Let yourself drift along this gentle passage, where every sensation, the whisper of wind through trees, the timbre of remembered voices, the warmth of a familiar gaze, blends into a lullaby that cradles your spirit. Allow the soothing cadence of this timeless music to guide you toward the deepest recesses of rest. As your breath settles into the rhythm of the night, feel the embrace of history and dreams wove tenderly around you, like the softest cashmere knit, warming your journey through this tranquil void. An orchestra of stars above intertwines with tales of old, comforting you with its gentle glow as the realm of dream softly cradles you close. In these final moments, savor the peace that envelops you, a testament to the power of stories shared and connections forged across the labyrinth of time. Etch this comfort into your heart, a cherished reminder that you are cradled by the cosmos, held gently within the great woven fabric of history's grand symphony. And as you sink into the depths of night's embrace, know that sleep holds you gently, promises whispered on the wind guiding you into sweet rest. Let your spirit soar beyond the realms of waking thought, reassured that with each new dawn's light awaits another chapter filled with endless wonder and timeless tales yet untold. Rest easy now, dear dreamer, your journey secure in the tender embrace of night's lullaby, as history's echoes softly see you through to greet tomorrow's gentle morning light. In the tranquil embrace of the night, as dreams weave their gentle web around your consciousness, you float softly through the realms of sleep, where time and space dissolve into a serene symphony of peace. The world outside fades, leaving behind a soothing quiet, much like the gentle hum of distant waves caressing a moonlit shore. Here, in this dreamscape, where the echoes of history and the lullabies of the night dance together, you find yourself wandering through landscapes both familiar and fantastical. The tapestry of tales from your journey through the Spanish Inquisition unfurls once more, weaving itself into the fabric of your dreams. Each thread, a gentle reminder of the mysteries and wonders that life holds. The market square, bustling with life and color, reappears in this dream realm, its vibrant energy radiating with a warmth that invites you to linger. The faces of the townsfolk, vivid and alive, greet you with the same friendliness and curiosity that transcends time and connects us all. You can hear their laughter, as clear as a bell, echoing across the ages, a timeless thread of humanity that binds us together. The Inquisitors, with their solemn countenances, drift through your thoughts, now softened and humanized in the gentle light of dreams. Their stern facades are warmed by the glow of understanding and compassion, a reminder that beneath the armor of history lie hearts that beat with the same rhythms that connect all of mankind. As you move through this dreamscape, the world morphs and shifts, now flowing like a gentle stream through forests and fields that whisper secrets of their own. The air is filled with the perfume of flowers and the soft rustle of leaves, creating a symphony of nature that lulls your spirit into an even deeper peace. In this sacred space, questions and uncertainties lose their weight, drifting away on the gentle breeze of the night. The debates of scholars and the mysteries of the past softly fade, replaced by the simple, comforting truth of the present moment, a truth that holds you tenderly in its embrace, whispering to you of possibilities yet to come. You feel the warmth of the earth beneath you, grounding you in the present, even as you soar through the realms of possibility. The stars above shimmer with a quiet wisdom, their light a bridge between worlds, illuminating your path and reminding you of the infinite beauty that lies in the unknown. As dawn begins its quiet ascent, the dreams that have cradled you through the night start to soften, their edges fading like the first light of day chasing away the shadows. The world outside begins to stir, and gently you find yourself awakening to the promise of a new day, carrying with you the whispers of dreams and the echoes of stories shared across the sands of time. In this gentle waking, you find solace in the knowledge that the tapestry of history continues to unfold, woven with the strands of countless lives and timeless tales, each one a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. You rise with the dawn, ready to embrace the day with an open heart, guided by the soft light of understanding and the eternal promise of new beginnings. And as you step into the day, may you carry with you the peace of the night and the dreams that have held you, a reminder that you are ever a part of the grand mosaic of life, forever intertwined with the stories of those who came before and those yet to come. As the first tender rays of dawn gently brush against the sky, painting it with shades of rose and gold, you awaken from your peaceful slumber. The night's dreams, like soft whispers, linger at the edges of your mind, weaving gently into the fabric of your waking thoughts. The world is quiet in these early moments, offering a tranquil space to reflect and breathe in the new day. You stretch and take in the familiar surroundings of your cozy haven. The room is bathed in the soft, muted light of morning, a comforting parallel to the gentle retreat from dreams to wakefulness. It's that delicious time before the day fully begins, when the world feels still, cradled between the gentle arms of night and day. Your mind, still wrapped in the peaceful residue of sleep, drifts back to the journey you've taken through the tapestry of history. The vibrant tapestry of the Spanish Inquisition begins to unwind in your thoughts, its images and moments cascading softly like gentle waves lapping at the shore of your consciousness. Though the stories exist in a time and place distant from your own, they've left an indelible mark, a reminder of the interconnectedness of human experience. The faces of those you encountered, the townsfolk, the inquisitors, the characters with their quirks and secrets, come alive in memory, warming your heart with their humanity. They serve as testaments to the timeless dance of history, where tales old and new intermingle, creating a bridge across the eons. The history feels less like a distant past and more of a shared narrative that continues to unfold within the grand tapestry of life. As you rise, the soft echoes of night and dream, the gentle cadence of your journey, infuse your spirit with a sense of gratitude and wonder. You're reminded of the power of stories, the way they bind us to one another, transcending centuries and linking hearts and minds in a shared exploration of meaning. With each step you take through the soft embrace of morning light, you carry with you the stories that guide and shape you. The memories of the Spanish Inquisition remind you that human history is rich and multifaceted, woven with threads of triumph, folly, courage, and curiosity. Each thread contributes to the beautiful, intricate tapestry that is humanity itself, resonating deeply within you. The day stretches ahead, a blank page rich with potential, inviting you to inscribe your own narrative, guided by the lessons of the past and the dreams of the night. The journey has imbued you with a deeper appreciation for the mysteries of history and the interconnectedness of all who have walked this earth. It fills you with hope and a quiet determination to continue exploring the stories yet to emerge in your own life. As you embrace the promise of a new day, you step forward with an open heart, ready to create new memories and gather fresh insights. The sun rises higher, casting a warm glow over the world, an invitation to live fully and savor deeply the rich tapestry of life, history, and dreams. You are reminded, as you embark on today's adventures, that you are part of an unending story, one filled with infinite possibilities and boundless wonder.